Please be advised, Gaggle of Geeks contains strong opinions that may contain language unsuitable for young children. Now here are your hosts, Patrick Beatty and Chaz Campbell Evans.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
What is up, my Gaggle of Geeks, and welcome to tonight's episode. Chaz, are you excited for this one?
I am excited for this one.
It's
because
Friday, man.
It's not Friday, it's Thursday.
Oh, shit. I already ruined the podcast. Well, that says goodbye to everybody. I'll see you. We're done already. Woohoo!
Yeah, I was gonna say because usually it's Friday, but no, it's Thursday.
Thursday, debate day. We might
boy.
be if the show gets too boring, we'll make everybody switch over to the debates instead. But I don't think it will because we have a couple great guests with us. Let's start by introducing Carrie, the Metal Geek. How's it going, man? What's up, Adam?
Hey. How's it going, everyone?
Good, man. Well, thank you for joining this weird
Thank you for having
show.
me.
Tell us a little bit about the Metal Geeks and what you've been up to.
Sure. Well, Metal Geeks podcast have been going for 9 years now. I started podcasting back in 2005, though, with my other show, MSR Cast, which is all metal. But Metal Geeks is where we're metalheads, but we talk about film and video games and comic books and even Disney theme parks and all that. Anything that geekery, we'll talk about it.
Very cool. You have such a cool page and group, and your fans seem to love you. So we had to get you on so that we can steal some of your fans.
Sure.
I remember,
yeah, no worries.
I remember what was it? It was on my birthday that you put something up that's like we're enemies or something, and I had no idea. So it's like I guess we are. What is happening there?
We're frenemies.
Frenemies.
Yes.
Okay. I can get into character for that. That works.
Yep.
But in the end, I think you're pretty great. So I'm not sure.
I think you're pretty great too. You beat me though. That was what I was talking about.
Oh, gotcha.
But we have a rematch coming up.
We do have rematch, and Chaz is a part of it too, is he not?
Hell yeah, I am.
We should promote Cast Off Season 2. That's going to be pretty awesome. And but before we do anything else, let's introduce our next guest. He is, if you might have seen him from Salt Lake City's Off-Broadway Theater, it's Austin. How's it going, man?
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Oh, man, I love that horn.
Yeah. Well, if we're anything on this show, we're horny.
Ah.
That's another end to the show, right?
Okay, yep.
And I gotta go.
No, it's so cool to have you, man. Tell me what you've been up to. What has the Off-Broadway Theater kind of been like with COVID times?
Well, it actually closed its original location in Salt Lake starting January.
Mm-hmm.
So it was before COVID, but during COVID times, they moved down to Draper Historic Theater in partnership with them.
Oh, nice.
So they're doing shows at Draper Historic Theater.
So
Nice.
is that bigger than where you guys were doing it before?
It's smaller, and
Smaller.
audience sizes are definitely smaller due to COVID restrictions. But we're also COVID safe. Everybody wears a mask. All the actors wear masks. It's and it's still fun. It's still like it doesn't really take away from the performance of the actors or the shows. We just did a parody of Beauty and the Beast. It was called Cutie and the Beast.
There we go.
I mean, I would have already had a big mask on. I played the Beast, and we would have had like a big old mask on and whatever, but I had to wear this black mask across my face anyway. And I think the comedy theater scene is still alive, and it's just smaller,
Mm-hmm. Well, what has been like the biggest challenge, I guess, going in and doing more like it's mostly improv that's coming from Off-Broadway as well, right?
Yeah, well, they do parody shows and incorporate improv into everything, every show, every bit, the scene. Sometimes if a joke is going to play better one night, you'll use it one night, and if it doesn't the next, you cut it and try something new.
That's very cool. I think that leads, that's kind of perfect segue into, I guess, what our main topic is this week, which is comedies. Talking about some of our favorite comedy films, least favorite, and maybe recommendations that we might have for people. This is in honor, actually, of Borat 2 being released this week, or I guess you call, what's the full title for this? It's Borat, subsequent movie film, and then a big, long subtitle right at the bottom that changes actually periodically throughout the film. It starts that way, but starts evolving itself into different things. If there's one thing I can say about that film, Sacha Baron Cohen is one of the best improv actors out there. Like, especially with what he's able to do with just unsuspecting victims, people that just work at like a phone company. He just goes in and messes with, or like really anything. I know the film isn't out until this Friday, which is why I wanted to talk about the other comedy films. But Chaz, I want to kick it off to you. What are some comedy films that you love?
That I love.
We'll go there.
Super Bad from 2007 is actually on there. I think it's a fun buddy film, and it has a lot of heart to it, and it's very funny because I don't know. I think we're all at that age at one point. We were all that crass. And then also the 40-Year-Old Virgin. I think that's another one. Judd Apatow. I like a lot of the Judd Apatow flicks, and a lot of that inner circle that they all work with, like Seth Rogen and Bill Hader and all that. So all those films, right? I love.
Mm. Well, what are some classics that we've all kind of like? Every critic has kind of had to go through classic comedy films, whether it's The Big Lebowski, whether it's Airplane. I think those, for me, Big Lebowski is probably my favorite comedy of all time. Just with how clever it is, with how the audience didn't really get it at first, and it took a while for it to become a cult classic.
Yeah.
And once it did, it started a religion. I officiated a wedding being a minister for the Church of Latter-day Dude. That's not a joke. That's 100% true.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I officiated a wedding, and to be ordained, you had to go and find something online, and the Church of Latter-day Dude exists. And so I signed up for that, and Bob's your uncle. Utah was like, that's fine.
I was recently just in Austin, Texas, and I drove by a bowling alley, and their snack bar, they actually featured it really prominently on the outside, was called Lebowski. I was like, oh, well, there you go.
Well, Austin, what are your comedy influences? What are some of the films that you watched that made you want to start doing off-Broadway?
Well, I mean, fortunately for me, my parents owned the theater, so I've been able to do theater my entire life. But
you didn't need fucking movies.
Well, but I did, because movies is what influenced me probably the most. I was my whole life was watching theater, and it wasn't like, it wasn't like I wanted to do it just to be like my dad or anything. It was like I had to learn to love it, And I'd say the biggest influences were probably movies like Airplane. The Naked Gun is one of my all-time favorite movies, specifically comedy too. Some of the humor in there is just so slapstick and so zany. Mm-hmm. But even more so than that, I would say, is probably Monty Python and the Holy Grail. That's my all-time favorite comedy.
That's the Holy Grail.
That is the Holy Grail, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Holy Grail. That obviously that's kind of number one if you were to rank them. But have you seen the other ones like The Meaning of Life or The Life of Brian? No one.
I've seen
Gary has.
Circus.
I'm old.
But...
Flying Circus. Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was. Which one is the Jesus one? It's The Life of Brian, right? Yeah, it's an okay one, but really, Holy Grail is the Holy Grail of all of Monty Python's films.
Uh-huh.
The rabbit, the white rabbit, the Black Knight, going through the questions 3.
Just the way that it starts with you there, man, or old woman. I'm not a woman. Man. Oh, old man. I'm not old.
They definitely titled the movie appropriately.
Oh, I'm Dennis. I didn't know you were named Dennis. Well, you didn't ask.
Didn't bother to find out, did you?
And I love that whole thing. It, like, talking about politics. It's just two shit grubbers talking politics to a king that's standing there like, what am I doing here? Why am I talking to either of you? And they're like,
and he even says, I'm your king. And he goes, well, I didn't vote for you.
Oh God, that hits too close to home right now.
Yeah. You don't vote for kings.
Or see violence inherent in the system. Help! I'm being repressed.
I'm being oppressed.
Mm-hmm.
How old were you guys when you saw that movie?
Oh, I was pretty young. I remember my dad was a principal at an elementary school, so I had kind of free reign to run through all of the classrooms during summer time when he had to still work. I just like go through the library, pull out the TV, and then bring movies from home and watch them. And Monty Python was always on the list.
I
Yes.
probably was 10 the first time I remember watching it. In fact, my oldest memory of that movie is when the paintings come up and the trumpets are played through the butts.
Mhm.
You know, they're I don't know why, but that's what I remember the most. My first viewing.
The line "She turned me into a newt" was my favorite line as a kid. Through all of it.
Mine was Very Small Rocks.
Carrie, what about you? What are some of the films that you loved that are comedies?
I think I'm much older than you guys, so I grew up loving Mel Brooks. Any Mel Brooks movie, I was a huge fan of. I saw Spaceballs back in the theater.
You saw it in the theater?
I did.
Damn.
Told you I'm old.
I didn't say that. That's not what I
You
said.
implied it.
I didn't do that.
I was visiting my grandma in Florida, and she dropped me off to watch that movie. That and The Goonies that year. But yeah, I love Young Frankenstein and Blazing Saddles is another one of my favorites. I don't think that movie would not be made today for sure. I really love Tommy Boy. That's one of my favorite comedies.
Oh, I love Tom. Yeah, that's a brilliant one.
That talk about quotable, that movie right there. That and
So much.
you don't mess with his own hand. Adam Sandler. I love Adam Sandler. I grew up watching like when Billy
Shit,
Madison
we are
came out.
frenemies now. That was you like that movie?
I do. I love that movie.
shit.
Ouch.
Did we just become frenemies?
A little bit.
Oh no.
Just happened. All right.
Another one I want to mention is Galaxy Quest. Does not get enough respect. Love Galaxy Quest.
Galaxy Quest.
But I'm
That
not a
was
Star Trek guy. I don't watch any Star Trek. I'm not a big fan, but I love that movie for some reason.
It's because it's so expertly written. Like
Mhm.
the insider jokes that don't take out the fandom but includes the fandom to want to like joke with them, like the scene towards the end when they're on the ship and he's calling down to the fan at his house or whatever,
Yeah.
and he's like, it's okay, you told me it's fake and I knew it's fake, and it's like, no, it's real. He goes, I knew it was real.
I think it's
That's
one of the first
all of us.
movies that really focused. Okay, there's like a whole genre of people that love these like science fiction movies and conventions and all this kind of stuff, and it was never in a movie before. If people weren't into that scene, they didn't know about it until they saw something like this. They're like, oh, really? Is that real? There's people that love like Star Trek like that. There are.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They have an R-rated cut somewhere. Somewhere
Do
in the treasure troves of the studio is an R-rated cut right next to the 3-hour Schumacher Batman Forever.
Is that like
Well,
this Snyder cut?
Yeah, I know. I was like,
The Snyder Cut's
I didn't say
happening, so-
that.
screw the Snyder Cut. I want to see the R-rated Galaxy Quest.
Right?
Yeah, hell yeah, I would watch an R-rated Galaxy Quest. Especially anything with more Alan Rickman, I'd watch
Yeah.
it right now.
Yeah.
I got to say, I'm a huge Kevin Smith fan. So seeing Clerks for the first time, I was at my buddy's house and we just rented it and we watched it and it blew our little minds. We were probably, we were old at that time. And I would have graduated college or high school by that time, but man, just everything he ever put out. Then Mallrats, we went and saw that in the theater, and just, I think Dogma is probably my favorite right there.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Alan Rickman, phenomenal job.
Right. He just shows up in these random movies and gives the best performances
Mhm.
out of everybody. Just steals the show every time. R.I.P.
Carrie, did you like Clerks too?
I did, because it was a revisit with the characters. I like it. Yes and no. That's a weird question, but yeah. Did you watch Reboot?
I did not know. That's on my list.
I enjoy Reboot. I enjoy a lot of this stuff just because he knows how to do fan service.
Yeah.
I even like Tusk, so I'm one of the weird ones.
Tusk.
No, that's
Tusk
things you're a
was
fan.
a ride.
Yeah.
Yep. Zach and Miri Make a Porno was, I think, one of Chaz's favorites of one of
That's
the
a good
years
one,
we
too.
covered. Or was it underrated?
It was one of my underrated ones. Yeah.
It was on one of the lists.
Yeah.
Can we talk about Charlie Chaplin a little bit and
Yeah.
Buster Keaton and how
Sure.
great they were at physical
Overrated.
comedy?
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my God, dude, come on. Those films, so good.
In
Even now.
performing live theater most of my life, I think looking to Charlie Chaplin for physical comedy is is something that a lot of actors do, and one I myself have looked into. Seeing the physicality of trying to like steal the show without saying anything,
Mhm.
it's one of those. It's one of those things that's kind of timeless because you go back and watch it now, it's still funny.
It is, yeah, and people still do it to this day. People make careers off of stealing from Charlie Chaplin, like Chevy Chase back in the early days, and it's really great stuff, man.
The Three Amigos could basically be an homage to Charlie Chaplin in a lot of ways.
I love the Three Amigos.
So good. I had to start with bring up Three Amigos because that's the singing bush, the El Guapo.
Mhm.
I love every part of that film.
I haven't seen that since I was like 5.
Really?
Dude, it's
Oh,
been
man.
21 years.
Do you know the song?
No.
My little buttercup has the
has the
sweetest
Smile.
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 It's smile.
It's smile.
Wow. I love it. And then when the two actual bad guys show up and they're just like, look at the little sissies, and they just Breaking Bad everybody. They go full Salamanca twins on everyone. Yep.
My favorite joke from Three Amigos, I don't know if you remember it, but it's the caw. Look up here.
Mhm. Then there's there's so many comedic actors. Like with Three Amigos, there's 3 powerhouses with Steve
Mhm.
Martin Short, and Chevy Chase. But Carrie, you also mentioned Chris Farley, and I would be remiss to not bring up. I don't know if you guys have heard of this film. It's called Almost Heroes. It's about not Lewis and Clark, but the other expedition that was going out to try to reach the Pacific. And
Oh my god, did it have I know it had Chris Farley in it, right?
Chris Farley and Matthew Perry
Yes, I
were
saw
the
this.
Lewis and Clark.
I saw this in a movie theater at downtown Disney for some reason.
Jesus, what?
We were waiting. We had time to waste. We're waiting for our airplane, and yeah.
What did you think of it in the theater? Were you like, this is one of his better? Or because I've heard mixed feelings about Almost Heroes. I watched it as a kid, so I loved all of the stupid stuff. Like whenever he had to go up and get the eagle egg, and the eagle would show back up and just start attacking him.
I don't think it's my favorite. My favorite is still Tommy Boy, of course. I think at some point Chris Farley like sort of knew he had to play that role, and he like hammed it up a little bit too much. But
yeah, and Matthew Perry didn't really work as well as a straight guy for him. He kind of hammed it up. Like he was the straight man, but he also wanted to try to be a little funny with it too. Not David Spade, which you've got Tommy Boy and you've got Black Sheep of like one of the best like pairings for comedy films, being the straight man.
For sure.
Black Sheep works well right now, being all political and stuff.
Oh no.
I laid the gauntlet down. No, what else do we have? Adam Sandler was a huge part of cinema comedy, whether we want to admit it or not at this point.
Do you guys have a favorite Adam Sandler movie?
Yeah, I do.
I think I do as well. Mine's
I want to hear.
Mine's Happy Gilmore.
Nice, that's a good one.
Yeah,
Chaz?
What was Austin going to say?
Oh no, just it's just one of those movies that I'll still quote to this day.
I like Mr. Deeds.
Ooh,
It's a good one.
I always laugh when with his black foot with the fire poker.
What about you, Carrie? What's one of your favorites?
I mentioned You Don't Mess with Zohan. That my wife and I quote that movie way too much for some reason. But I love, Mr. Deeds is a great one. Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison. Just some of his early where he was just goofy as hell, man. And Little Nicky, I love Little Nicky.
I
I
love
think Little Nicky is underrated. That's a good one. Who was it wasn't Patricia Arquette the female lead in
That's
it?
correct.
What? How did he get her in there? That's a lot of questions that he has for his female co-stars. How did she show up in this?
And if you like classic Adam Sandler, Hubie Halloween was not bad.
It really wasn't, right? In fact, he made a little tiny universe in a way, especially for Happy
Yeah.
Gilmore. You've got the Ben Stiller character showing up at the beginning.
That's right, you do. And they talk. The old duels are in there, and
Yep.
it's
The Sandler verse.
yeah, the
Sandlerverse.
Sandlerverse. Hey, if Kevin Smith can do it, Adam Sandler can do it.
Did it before DC. Anyway.
And did it better.
Yeah.
And
Well,
it wasn't too hard.
Michael Keaton just shows up again. Man, if what is the how am I forgetting the guy's name? Carl Weathers' character in Happy Gilmore. What's his name?
No.
Right? Why is that escaping me? I feel awful. I just want to say
Peterson?
hands, but that sounds horrible.
It's Chubbs Peterson.
Chubbs.
There you go.
Peterson.
Chubbs.
That might have been even worse.
Because his hand was bitten off by the alligator.
Mm.
Chubbs Peterson.
I didn't say my things. I honestly think The Wedding Singer, 50 First Dates, the ones that have the heart in them too.
I absolutely agree. I love The Wedding Singer. One of my favorites.
Mm-hmm. And even Click. I mean, maybe not his best, but Christopher Walken is as much as a presence there as he could be.
Man, as soon as you said Click, that reminded me of what you said earlier. Like, how did he get Kate Beckinsale
Exactly right.
to be in that movie as his wife?
It was the dog humping the yellow duck. That was the scene that sold her.
Or I think Jessica Biel was in I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's not a bad one either.
No. Well, okay, hold on. What? Why are you saying it? All of his shitty ones are good ones.
Maybe I just love his shitty movies.
I'm being very objective by saying it that way.
I think Big Daddy's also a good one. It has a lot of heart to it as well.
It does.
Mm-hmm. Dylan and Cole Sprouse is in that.
Yeah.
What was with us in the 90s and just being like, let's have twins be the same person?
Yeah, even if they're not actual twins, let's make them twins.
Wait, what?
Like Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah.
Oh.
Damn, you made a really good segue, Austin. I think we're just going to do it. So we'll jump back to comedies maybe after we get through this game. I don't know if you guys have heard, but there's a new show that we've been trying out, and we finally have some more videos and stuff to make it look a little bit better. So let's start. The cost is boss. So, what is this essentially? Well, we have been on cameo.com. If you've not heard of Cameo, this is where celebrities, non-celebrities, kind of featured people, anybody really, a YouTuber can go on and sell themselves and give you whatever you want on video form. You want to look at their feet. If they're into that stuff, they'll send a video to you for a certain price point. And
OnlyFans.
it's really the only thing that I've searched for on there is just feet stuff. So most of this is just going to be feet related cameos.
Sure.
Yeah. So the idea of this is we're going to guess the price that you think that these celebrities or artists, you would say, have set for themselves. Some of the answers might surprise you. And we still didn't come up with a price for this, Chaz. What? Maybe you know what? I can swing one of these. I can swing one of these cameos. You will get a cameo from one of the people on this list if you win.
Nice.
So it's at stake, people. There are stakes in this. So let's start.
I've actually received a cameo this past week. So
you were telling us about that. Please brag about this. Because
my wife for my birthday got me a cameo from one of my favorite musicians, Devin Townsend. I know how much he cost. So we got to take him out.
Damn it. No, we didn't have him in this.
But
we do. Oh, go ahead. Oh, sweet. Let's move to our first person, which this was the segue, Austin. Lindsay Lohan, known for Parent Trap and Mean Girls, allergic to blueberries, all kinds of stuff. What do you guys think is her price point that she set?
For her cameo.
Mm-hmm. For her cameo, how much do you think it costs?
I'll go. Who's going to go first?
Chaz?
I'll say 200.
Okay. Chaz has 200. Austin?
Well, it's modern Lindsay Lohan, so I'm gonna say 10 grand.
And I'm going to go 349.
Austin, I thought you were gonna say like $50. Like that.
All right. Wait, what was yours, Carrie?
349.
349. Okay, so we got 200, 10 grand, and 349. And the answer is 215, which means, Chaz, you are correct. But I don't know. Did you cheat? Because I told you not to cheat on this
How
one.
would I didn't cheat. No, I don't have time to go on Cameo.
I'm always assuming that he's cheating in these, but we'll see with the next people. So, our next person is Carol Baskin. Allegedly killed her husband from Tiger King and recently Dancing with the Stars.
She killed her husband and whacked him.
Maybe she whacked him, then killed him.
That's true.
That's the polite thing to do.
All right, so for this, Carrie, what do you think is...
I'm going to say 179.
179. Nice. Austin?
Let's go 150.
150. Also, I can't say if it's nice or not because I'd trick people. Chaz, what do you think?
175.
Oh,
175. Wow. All right. The answer for Carol Baskin is 299.
What the fuck?
Which means, oh boy.
That's Carrie.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Unfortunately. That's the one that we're going to get you. I don't see what the problem is.
No.
We're going to just have her right behind the meat grinder that she said she didn't use. And just be like, hey, all you cool Carries and kittens.
Oh.
Just getting ready for my foxtrot on Dancing with... Did she get eliminated yet? Does anybody
She
watch
was like
that
one of the first to be eliminated.
Oh, good.
I read
Was
about
she
that.
like, did she look at the judges all side-eye like, I'll fucking get you next?
Well, I mean, what I remember is that her dead husband's family posted an ad that ran with Dancing with the Stars that was like, if you know anything about our missing dad, like,
Wow.
and then in the ad they also said, and we think Carol Baskin did it. So if you have any dirt on her, like, let us know.
Do you know who did it? It was Carol. This is the ad.
Uh-huh.
That's awesome. All right, let's move into our next cameo, which is Jason Alexander, known for George and Seinfeld, attended Boston University and lost his hair at 16.
Sounds like Patrick.
It was, fuck you, first of all. That's not it. However, it's getting there now. I won't say it's not getting there. We'll start with Austin. What do you think is Jason Alexander's price?
Well, Jason Alexander, he definitely said it for 500.
Nice. Okay. We have 500. Chaz, what do you think?
200.
Got 200 from Chaz and Carrie.
I'm going to go 229.
229. All right. So Austin is the highest priced one. The last time he did it 10,000 for one. So
I don't know. Who knows?
This is definitely a better guess, I would say, than going
yes.
immediately to 10,000. Because we're in the thousands. Jason Alexander for $1,000.
What?
We'll do a cameo. That means Austin is on the board.
Wow.
Wow. That's unexpected.
Wow.
I thought he would be more humble than that as George Constanza.
Now, George is all about that money. Anyway, he can make a quick buck.
Apparently.
Wonder if he'd send feet pics. Anyway, let's move on to our next person, which you may know from recent debates. The fly on Mike Pence's head. Yes, fame took him, and he is writing that and not letting go.
Is this real?
Doing it is. What are you talking about? Is this real? You think he'll make a fake cameo?
Maybe he's in the sequel.
Ooh.
Well, it's the prices have to be high since he doesn't have long to live.
Why do I feel bad for the fly now? Like, oh, he's gonna die. He had so much. Well, Chaz, for the fly on Mike Pence's head, what would you say the price is?
Well, since it's a troll account,
Why are you saying that?
and they probably want a lot of people to do it, they're probably going to set the price low. So I'm going to guess like 25.
Fuck you. That's a real fly. How dare you? Austin, what is your price for the fly on Mike Pence's head?
I mean, the housefly can live up to 28 days. I looked it up. So,
He doesn't have much time left now.
yeah, I mean, given that it was a full-grown fly by the time he landed on Pence's head, I would say it's got to be 100 even.
100 even? Okay. Nice. This might be a GoFundMe for him to try to extend his life. Get me on the drugs that Donald Trump got for COVID. And let me live. Carrie, what do you think the price is?
I'm going to go $79.
79.
79.
Okay.
Oh, hold on, real quick. What's up with you in the 9s?
Because I've been on Cameo before.
His cameo, I believe, ended in a 9, did it not? And people are doing that. Carol Baskin was $2.99.
Why not just put $1 up? Okay.
Because it makes people think it's
They're
cheaper
trying to
than it
get
really
Walmart price points. They're trying to make it
Exactly.
seem like this is a deal.
I get it.
So for the fly on Mike Pence's head, $25 exactly from Chaz.
Wow.
So Chaz 2, Carrie, and Austin are at 1. So we've still got a few to go with.
I would pay that just to see what the cameo would look like.
It's probably just footage of the fly.
But that would be your copy forever.
Right.
Has your
Yeah,
name watermarked on it.
We've got to promote these people, you know, or sorry, things. Didn't mean. I don't know what he identifies as, the fly, and I shouldn't have said he. That makes it even worse. Let's move over to the next person, which we're gonna start with our themes of Halloween a little bit here. It's Jason from Friday the 13th. This actor was the largest baby ever born, and we're Australia at 11 pounds. That's
Wow.
a fun fact. This is for our podcast listeners that are only hearing a very annoying, chirpy song and not seeing anything.
They came out
And-
bloody.
He's also a juggalo.
God, Carrie's, oh, Jesus.
Well, he's descendant from criminals. That's all we know.
He was recently on Smothered, the show about parents being too helicopter parenty.
Mm.
No, he wasn't. But what is the price for? I gotta say his actual name, Kane Hodder, who was Jason in the Michael Bay Friday the 13th. Let's go with.
Wait,
Chad. What?
He wasn't the Michael Bay one.
Yeah, he was.
Michael Bay directed Friday the 13th.
He produced
it.
the
He-
newest one.
Kane Hodder wasn't him though.
Are you sure?
I'm positive, dude.
Mm.
Kane Hodder's like old school Jason.
Well, then that makes it even cooler, doesn't it?
Yeah.
God damn it. What do you
Sorry.
think the price is, Chaz?
I'm gonna say 250.
250? Okay. Carrie?
Wasn't there a different Jason actor every time? I'm gonna go lower. I'm gonna do $69. 69.
Kane Hodder's naughty.
He's gonna stick you.
Yeah. Oh, God.
I guess I got to go 150 again.
150 again. All right. So with those in, Kane Hodder, $100.
No.
So, who won? Carrie.
think we all know who won. Very much, Carrie. So
Oh.
now we got 2, 2, and 1. Moving into our next person, we have Chum Lee, the doofus from Pawn Stars, arrested on drug and gun charges in 2005. I don't know why I put these facts in.
It's important for people to know that.
Chum Lee is all about pricing things. I don't know whether he did a good job of it in Pawn. Did you all watch Pawn Stars?
Yeah,
Sure, everybody is not any.
Never seen it.
I've
The
watched
best I
Pawn
can-
Stars.
The best I can do is
That
$2.
everybody has to start their price point by saying best I can do. So Austin, what's the best you can do for this guy?
The best I can do is just some GameStop reward points, which is real life money, only $5.
Mhm.
So that's what
Not
I'm gonna
even
go
that
with.
much.
The best I can do is $5.
$5. Okay. Carrie, what do you think for Chumley?
Best I can
I
do
don't know
is
the show at all.
what? Yeah, never seen the show. 149.
149. And Chaz?
Oh, I'll say 175.
175. Alrighty. So with those in for Chumley, you could get a cameo for the very, very reasonable price of $75. What? Which I believe means Carrie gets the 3rd point. No?
Or does
Maybe.
Austin? That's a close one.
He said $5.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That would make it Carrie, no?
He said 179. Did you?
149.
149. Yeah, it would be
Mhm.
Carrie.
Okay, I was like, I know I got this right. All right. Dang it, you made me mess up the thing. Carrie, awesome. Now let's move into our next person, which is William Hung, known for his American Idol audition, and maybe I owned his album.
You own that album?
Maybe I listened to it a few times.
She
And-
bangs. She bangs. Oh, the way she moves, the way she walk. She walk.
You know how
How could you forget?
every TikToker has
There's
looked
a-
at
wait a
William
minute,
Hung
wait,
and
hold
said,
on.
"This is what I will do with my life."
There was a whole album of that, not just that one song.
Inspiration. All it is covers. So he did "I Believe I Can Fly,"
Oh God.
which we don't have to say anything else about that.
Yeah. Other than
Well,
that, it was
most of-
great.
The most important question of not how much he was, but what category is he featured under?
Oh, you know, I wish I had some of that stuff in here. Shoot. I was too into making the cool, fancy videos. So for William Hung, Chaz, what do you think his price is?
With a name like Hung,
Because that's how he based it. What's my last name?
I'd say 275 for a
275.
cameo from the one and only Hung person.
That guy bangs. You think about it if he has that price point. Well, Austin, what would you think is the price for William Hung?
I think he'd do 125.
125. And Carrie, what do you think for William Hung?
I'm going to go for 139.
Okay, and Austin, yours was 125, and Chaz, what was yours?
It was 200. What was it, 50 or something like that?
Gotcha. All right. So with those prices in, for a cameo from William Hung, you can actually get one for $20.
Austin.
The man is reasonable, and Austin
Wow.
gets another point.
Wow.
Wow. Wow.
Wow. We were pretty close.
I like this.
Wow.
Wow.
We are getting there.
Wow, what a reasonable price, man.
Let's move into our next horror film inspired pick. This is Paul T. Taylor, known for Pinhead and in Hellraiser. I put and that's about all the facts I had for him. And I looked
But that's not the original, because the original was
That's not
Doug
the original.
Bradley.
not
Yeah.
from the real, not from the original. So keep that in mind when you're looking at the price for
Mm.
this guy. I would say.
Mhm.
Let's start with Austin. What do you think the price is?
I just want to get it over with. 50.
50.
This guy, I'm like, what? He's
very
selling
enthusiastic.
cameos.
50. Chaz, what do you think?
I'll go 75.
We got 75, 50, and Carrie.
I'm going to say $15.99.
$15.99. All right. So
Okay.
with those prices in for Paul T. Taylor, not the pinhead you were looking for, which might mean you could get it for $45, making
Awesome.
Austin and Carrie tied.
Oh no.
Oh shit.
Do you have a tiebreaker?
Is it David
Okay,
Prowse?
We've got a couple more, I believe. Literally 2. Awesome. This is working great. All right. On to our next one, which you guys have all seen this film. I'm hoping. Kimberly J. Brown, known for Halloween Town 1, 2, and 3, and one of my favorite horror films or horror series out there, Stephen King's Rose Red, that scared the shit out of me as a kid, and recently watched it again. I watch it every year. It's still terrifying. And she's a great actress. So,
And she's dating the guy from Halloween Town 2.
right now?
Yeah.
Not so they've just started, or if they've been dating
2018.
since. Wow.
Since 2018, yeah.
Wait a minute. What was her name again?
That's searching your Facebook friends from high school levels of energy. Remember when it was fun?
Kimberly J. Brown.
Kimberly
Right?
J. Brown. She was also in a Disney Channel original film called Quints. That was about quintuplets. Yeah.
Sounds dumb. Okay.
Wow.
I think my age is showing here.
Well, Gary, what would you think the price is for Kimberly J. Brown?
Oh, $49.
We got 49 from Carrie. Chaz, what do you think?
I'll say 90.
49, 90, and Austin?
She's definitely selling stuff on Fiverr as well. Let's go $5 again.
Whoa. Alrighty. So with those prices in, Halloween Town, underrated film. I enjoy watching that still. Disney Channel original films, they don't really hit as hard as they used to back in the day. And it's partially because they have really great actresses like this. And you could get a cameo from her for $75, which means, Carrie, you are now in the lead.
All right.
So
Wait, what'd you say it was? 69?
75.
I said 49, I believe.
Oh, he said 49.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. So with that in mind, Carrie is in the lead with 4. Austin, 3. Chaz, 2. So Chaz, unfortunately, I think
I'm losing
you're
on purpose.
you're out of here. You get the slap of approval. I don't know.
I won't say this next one. I'll keep it between these two.
So, Austin, you've got a chance to tie this up. And if you do, I don't have any more left. So we'll see what happens from there.
Okay.
So
Rock, paper, scissors.
let's see what we do here. That person is Ernie Hudson, known for his roles in Ghostbusters, Ghostbusters 2, Electric Boogaloo. I watched that movie today. It's got way too much random like 80s rap stuff. That Ghostbusters theme song that they tried to redo
With
the
Beastie
second,
Boys.
yikes. I was listening to that going, I forgot they even tried to redo. Why would you do that?
Oh, that.
Mhm.
Recently, they released, some guy remixed the Intergalactic from the Beastie Boys with the Ghostbusters theme. It's pretty good, actually.
That's cool. So
I could do
for
that.
Ernie Hudson, Chaz, you're still going to be a part of this. Don't knock yourself out, but you might get the last point and just upstage everybody. So, what is the price for Ernie Hudson?
For me,
Mm-hmm.
175.
Okay, 175. Ernie Hudson. Austin, what do you got?
Ernie Hudson, he's a big guy. He's a big star. He's got to go 200.
175 for Chaz, 200 Austin, and Carrie,
229.
229. All right. So, with the prices in, the answer is 135, which means,
Oh.
Chaz, you get a point.
Not
And
bad.
either way, though, it does turn out that Carrie, you win. Woo!
Oh,
There should have been a better, like, hey, he won sound. But that works. Woo!
I like that one.
So you will be getting a cameo sent to you by the end of this weekend. Hopefully, if whoever I end up selecting from this list gets
Which was the cheapest one? I can't remember.
the cheapest one. It's not The Fly. That was interesting to me. I wonder if William Hung looks and he goes, "What? I was being competitive. Now it just looks horrible." That was a good game, you guys. Thank you for
That was
playing.
I like the new layout.
Yeah. I finally got it to look a little bit better than what we were doing before. So
yeah.
hopefully many more of these to come, and we'll just keep improving from there. But let's see. Is there
That
any
was a
other
lot of fun. Thank you.
films? Of course, Carrie. Is there any other comedy films that we wanted to talk about before adjourning for this episode?
I have a question.
Yes.
So I find myself laughing more at TV shows than I do movies. Do you guys have favorite comedy TV shows?
I think if I may start, one of the most cleverly written shows out there is Archer,
That's a good
and
pick.
I love.
I
Archer.
just started that during quarantine.
Have you liked it
It's
so far?
pretty underrated, I think, actually. In
It just
fact,
got renewed, right?
it did for season 12.
Mine can work as a movie and a TV series, and that's what we do in the shadows.
Oh my god, I love that film.
Oh my god!
Is the
What we
TV
do
show
in the
good?
shadows.
TV
is-
show, I think, it's
better.
funnier than the movie.
The TV show is like comfort food.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta check this out then.
You haven't seen the series yet, Chaz?
I have not. No.
It's the first season's really good. The second season they steer a little bit further away from the movie, I think, but come into their own a little better. Like the
Agreed.
show starts to takes its more shape. And like The Office, Parks and Rec are obviously up there. Arrested Development, if you just stop at season 3, I know that might be blasphemous, but I don't like what Netflix has done with them.
I just watched during quarantine. I had never seen 30 Rock all the way through, or Arrested Development, or
30 Rock.
I watched. Yeah, 30 Rock was great. On Parks and Rec as well. I never watched any of those, so just plowed through them.
I
Arrested
think
Development, I
Parks and Rec-
agree. Yeah, after season 3, it was like too much green screen, and it was like you could tell it was not gelling.
Mhm. Has anybody watched Schitt's Creek?
I have yet to watch Schitt's Creek, but I've only heard good things.
Me and
That
my
is-
wife, we love that show. We before it was how popular it is now. We when it first came to Netflix, we plowed through it and just watched it all. It was like in a month.
It's super easy to go through, and it's
Mhm.
got that similar feel of just like comfort food. Like
Mhm.
you can binge an entire season in a day and not feel like,
Bad.
yeah, pretty much. They're so quick. They're like 20-minute episodes too. And I believe they just wrapped up completely. So if you did want to watch it, you wouldn't have to really wait for it to go to the next season, especially with Better Call Saul news, hearing that season 6 is delayed.
What?
I know. Can we count that a little bit as a comedy? Because I think Better Call Saul is hilarious in some points.
Probably a black comedy, right? Dark humor.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Bob Odenkirk, right? I mean, it's comedy.
Oh, that's true.
If we're talking about TV, we can go to two shows that are probably the longest running funny shows on TV, which is The Simpsons
Mm-hmm.
and of course the reruns of Seinfeld.
Oh,
I've
Yep.
rewatched Seinfeld at least 5 times all the way through.
We've been on Disney Plus to have a special category for Halloween. All the Treehouse of
Treehouse of
Horror.
Horrors.
We've been
Ooh, that-
watching through all those. Yeah, and it's a lot of fun.
What's interesting about that, just in the vein of Treehouse of Horror, they in the title when you're to look it up, it always says Treehouse of Horror, but in the starting of the episodes after the first one, it's the Simpsons Halloween special, and it says that in the beginning,
Mhm.
and I think that's very interesting because it's it's supposed to be Treehouse of Horror, and they switch back and forth.
There's another series that we haven't talked about yet that's in the vein of Seinfeld, Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Oh yes,
Curb Your Enthusiasm.
very good.
Let's throw in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia because like
I just started that. I'm on the second season.
It's Always Sunny is so good.
So have you seen Curb and are now getting into It's Always Sunny? Or is it Sunny and you haven't seen Curb yet?
I have not seen Curb yet. I've watched episodes here and there, but never I haven't finished it all.
You need to binge it.
That would be an awesome like back and forth. You don't have to go one and then go to the next because honestly, a lot of the actors are transitioning over. Dee Reynolds is in Curb Your Enthusiasm a lot as well.
Mm-hmm.
And
next thing I want to watch after that is AP Bio.
Oh yeah, with Patton Oswalt and the
Glenn
Howard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What show or what channel is that on?
It was NBC, but I believe it's now the last season didn't get picked up, but now it's on Peacock.
It's on Peacock.
It's on the cock.
So it's free.
There you go.
I've been watching a lot of horror movies this month because my co-host on Metal Geeks gave me a list of movies that I've never seen. So I'm trying to catch up with that. So my comedy viewing has been slowed down a little bit, but I'll get back there. I got to recommend Children's Hospital.
Ooh, I've heard really good things of that. That was on Netflix for a while too, right?
Yeah, they did a sequel on Netflix that came out earlier this year. It was all bad timing. It was all about a pandemic, but it was called Medical Police. Really funny.
I think the best hospital show I've seen is Scrubs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
dude, you sound like Zach Braff.
Zach Braff.
You sound like him. Like you really do.
I'm going to say it. If we don't talk about Community, one of my favorite shows ever.
Yep. Thank you, Donald Glover, Allison Brie.
Everybody on that show is hilarious. We just did a rewatch when they brought it to Netflix a few months ago. Yeah, it was so good.
And has anyone watched Veep? I know that Chaz has started Veep. I don't know if he's all through.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, if you want a lesson in comedy writing that just is so freaking like it's so rich and some of the insults in there, I don't know how they wrote them. And a lot of the insults that show up on that show are improvised too. Like it's like right out. They have the writers be on set so that they can throw little stuff to give the actors, and the outtakes on these are incredible. Veep is such a good show, and that was also too.
Yeah, if you want like an insult book, definitely watch Veep. There's a lot of stuff you're like, how would you figure to
that
coin
HBO,
that?
right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep, HBO. The HBO.
I mean, to bring it back round to improvisation, and maybe in good and bad ways, like Rick and Morty, I feel like they improvise so much, and like to the point where the scripts are improvised too. Like you'll be watching an episode and you're just like, okay, but it all makes sense. Like they all make it make sense.
Animation has been very good to the comedy genre, like with Family Guy, of course, South Park.
Oh my god,
South Park, yes,
paved the way for a lot of it.
The pandemic special they did was so funny.
South Park.
Yeah. Well, I think that about wraps it up for this episode. We have to now go watch our presidential candidates talk about some stuff.
That could be funny, or
we get to
it
see
could be
their
horror.
mics muted. That'll be fun.
Okay.
I can't wait to have Trump be muted for the first time and just like storm off stage and go out the opposite way and have to round back. And there we go. Just tough.
These are tough questions.
Yeah, they're too hard.
Which way is north, Mr. President?
Oh shit.
Go west.
Well, I want to thank my guests for coming on the show. Austin, tell the people where they can find you and what Off Broadway is doing and what you're going to be up to.
You can find me on Instagram at my handle Chief Asian. The theater OBT is currently doing a Halloween parody on the Addams Family. It's called Dracula versus the Addams Family. You can find it at obt.org. and get tickets there to if you want to go see that show and be safe with COVID. But otherwise, I'll probably just be making funny stuff on my Instagram. That's all.
Very cool. Thank you again for coming on. We hope to have you on again, as well as my frenemy Carrie from the Metal Geek. Please come back on, both of you. I didn't put on the sound effects. We're going to do that. Carrie, where can the people find you, and what are you guys doing this weekend and for the Halloween week?
Yeah, we are available all over the internet at metalgeeks.net. We're on all the social medias at Metal Geeks. We have a sister show at MSRcast. We are, we're cool. We talk about metal and video games and films, and it's just a lot of fun. Come hang out with us. Thank you for having me here.
Of course. Thank you both. And Chaz, over and under Artist Expose and on our website, patrickbeattyreviews.com. What's up?
Yeah, that's it.
Did I just plug it by accident?
No, you did not. Yeah, over and under Artist Exposed. Weekly episodes there. I just talk with artists about the highs and lows of pursuing art as a passion. So yeah, there won't be a new one tomorrow, unfortunately, because your boy's been too busy and kind of slacking on recording. But there will be one next week.
One lull during a pandemic. I think it can be forgiven.
Yeah, I was doing so well then. So I was like, fuck it. It's 2020. So
well, I'm glad that we were able to get this going for this week. Really, always one of the reliefs of the week is coming on and doing Gaggle of Geeks with you. And you can always check me out on Fridays on ABC4 Good Things Utah, as well, patrickbeattyreviews.com. And we've got some new reviews coming out. We just put out the Borat 2 review. Chaz is going to be putting out a couple of reviews this weekend, so please stay tuned for that. And of course, thank you as always for watching. We will see you at the next review.
Sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.